What's going on? Welcome back to the MG YouTube channel. I'm Malachi Grubb, CEO of Elite Automation, Elite Properties, and an investor in Tesla. And obviously, I talk a lot about Tesla and full self-driving, but today I want to talk to you guys about something different. It's about success. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and start FSD, so that way, I can just kind of have FSD playing in the background while I'm shooting this video. So just engage there. Okay, autopilot's now engaged, and we're going. Alrighty. Let's see what goes on here. Alright, yeah, so the thing that I want to talk to you guys about is... Alright, so the thing I want to talk to you guys about is... not watching entertainment things and watching educational things. This is the number one thing that you can do to become successful in life. And overall, just get ahead financially and make one of the most significant impacts in your life. And the reason for that is, if you're not spending your time with entertainment and you're spending your time with educating yourself, yourself, then you start to see things that other people can't see. You start to become an expert in things, right? Some things become something that you just become interested in, right? For example, a couple things for me was like back in my early days, it was like fitness. Then I got into like watching YouTube, how to grow a YouTube channel. Then I, let's see, and also on the flip side, I was also doing manufacturing and automation in manufacturing, and I worked for a machine builder, and so I was educating myself on that. So the one other thing that was there was passive income. So I was looking up passive income, and that's how YouTube came to be. Then after YouTube, then I gained experience operating a YouTube channel for like 3 years within like doing like fitness things, and then I dropped that to go full in on my career in automation. But I always spent a lot more of my time educating myself than I did entertaining myself. So a majority of the time was spent watching things. I'm like, how do I do this? How do I, it's like how to shoot a YouTube video, what's the best angle, like, and again, so now I know like a lot about cameras, and I understand about cameras, and I spend a lot of time educating myself on, what is the best camera, and then I ended up getting a good camera, and now it's an extremely good camera that we have, and that we can use to like shoot other YouTube videos and stuff like that. And then I've also kind of regressed, and I'm using like a cell phone right now to shoot off of a Pixel Fold phone, and because it's just through different evolutions, you find out what's easier, you find out what's the right time to use the right thing. But this is all through education instead of entertainment. Then I started getting involved in like the stock market, because I started to make more money in my career as an engineer, as a robotics engineer, as a project manager and stuff like that. And through that, I wanted an outlet to invest my money instead of just saving my money. And so I started looking into the stock market. And so then I learned a lot about the stock market. Then I started learning about different stocks. I started learning about like stock pricing and evaluating companies, and understanding where to put my money, where I want to put my money, right? Not just like where somebody else says to put your money, where you truly start to build a knowledge and you understand like where you want your money to go. And so with that being said, like one of my early investments was Tesla. And back then, Tesla was just starting on FSD, and I was an early investor in that. This was almost like 10 years ago. And hey, and now so now I'm also investing in Tesla. Honestly, I pulled a lot of money out of Tesla to launch my company Elite Automation when I launched it 5 years ago. And so like that was basically the seed money for me to launch Elite Automation. And then as Elite Automation grew, and I started some other companies, and we started getting more free cash flow personally, then I was like, okay, well now I have this free cash. I want to take something off the top from some of my companies, and let them grow on their own as well, but let me as a person, start to diversify into other things. So I started investing back into the stock market again. And again, Tesla is not my only investment, but it's one of my number one investments. And I've it was all because of educating myself, right? It's all because I spent all my time like watching Tesla videos, watching stock market videos, watching just so many different videos and so much different content. Like, for example, like financial education. That's one of my stock market YouTube channels I've been watching. I've been watching that video or his videos for like over 10 years on YouTube, and it's been significant in my development and understanding. But it's not just his videos; it's all the videos. It's the fact that I spent so much time watching content and viewing content that's not entertaining but educating. Let me continue the trip because I didn't want to actually stop there. Okay. Also, we're just going through like some windy roads. I don't know if you can really tell from this video, but definitely a lot of like windy roads and stuff like that. But just through this like continual education, now I'm in a position where there's so many people that just don't believe in Tesla. They think that FSD is going to be 2 years out. They think all these negative things, right? And the reason why they're not correct in this, and why I'm going to make a significant amount of money from my investment in Tesla at this moment. I have some option plays that are going to have some multi-X multipliers to because it's an option trade. I'm not going to get into all that right now. But because I can foresee something ahead of time, and I'm spending so much of my time not watching entertainment things and watching educational things, and it's now giving me the insight to make this prediction and understand how close we are, and then to also do things like going ahead and buying Tesla vehicles. And one of the things that we talk about on the channel is like we hack with like doing like DoorDash and just showing you guys how to make money through like taking that DoorDash money and then put it into an investment account, which we haven't been doing a lot on that right now, but we're doing that so we can demonstrate that like this hustle or whatever. But I could be spending my time entertaining myself, but instead I'm out, I'm driving, we're making some money, we're putting it in the investments, we are testing FSD, and so again now I'm not spending my time on entertainment, and I'm spending my time with FSD and riding in the vehicle to see how good FSD is, and see how good FSD is, and have a true understanding of how good it is and how close we are to robotaxi, so that way I can time my investment. Now, given you shouldn't time your investments, but you can time the money you allocate towards an investment based on how close you think they are to a particular instance, right? And for example, for a company like Tesla, robotaxi is the big thing. The next big thing with Tesla is Optimus. Now, again, like some small portion of money is for Optimus that's way out there in the future, but I will say don't double down right now because of Optimus. Right now it's like double down because of robotaxi. And again, that's because I'm continually watching content and continually educating and looking at news and experiencing how FSD is myself. And so like one thing that I'll do whenever we go into the next the next phase is I'll probably buy an Optimus robot as soon as I potentially can. And then I'm gonna see and watch the Optimus robot, how well it performs, and see what it can do, and be able to monitor that over time. And it's gonna give me more insight. This is education again. I'm spending my money on something just to educate myself. No matter how like actual functional and feasible it is, I need to see as an investor, how close it is to being market ready. And again, it's an educational thing, and I'm also spending money that I could have spent on entertainment things. I could have bought some guns, I could have bought another car, I could have bought whatever, right? We could have went on vacation, but instead of doing that, we buy an Optimus robot, and then we can educate and we can learn from it and know when's the right timing for the next investment. But again, it's like that sacrifice of not spending the money on entertainment, not spending the time on entertainment. And I'm not saying but like if you can continue to make those sacrifices in life, that's what will propel you forward. right? I've wanted a Cybertruck. I've had the ability to buy a Cybertruck many years ago when they launched, basically. I had the money to buy a Tesla many years ago when I worked as an engineer, but I literally just got my first Tesla after wanting one for years and years and years. I got my first one 6 months ago. I got the Cybertruck 3 months ago. And I did that. Why? Well, I did that, one, because I sacrificed for such a long time. And I said, okay, I've sacrificed long enough. Let me go ahead and take this. Second thing was I knew Robotaxi was so close. So I decided to put the investment into a Tesla, an FSD, and be able to experience it fully on how well FSD is working and how close it is to being ready for Robotaxi. So, that's just a few examples. But again, like really to bring it back, so much time of mine has been spent on watching educational things, especially YouTube. A lot of it's been just like YouTube educational content. I watch marketing things. But, I don't want to get into all the things that I've spent time watching. I gave you a brief on some of the things before. If you'd like for me to make a video on specifically some of the contents that I've watched throughout my lifetime and stuff like that, and kind of why I think that's had an impact, I can do that. Just let me know in the comments below. But I mainly wanted to just really emphasize that by really spending your additional time on educating yourself versus entertaining yourself, and then watching things like YouTube versus watching some stupid reels that have no meaningful value, that they can make a significant impact in your life. And it's one of the number one things you can do. You can start seeing things that other people can't see, and you literally become an expert to a degree that there's probably, I would say, under 100 people in the world that have the understanding of FSD and the understanding of Tesla and the understanding of Optimus and all that, especially with my experience, especially with my experience as in automation and robotics and manufacturing. I see that place where the Optimus is going to go at. I see where the ROIs and calculations of things are. Again, we sell capital manufacturing equipment, robotics and stuff. So these are the calculations that our customers are doing every day and that we have to do internally to understand what our customer's budget is whenever we're quoting them a piece of automated equipment. So this gives me just an insight that majority of people don't have that insight. And it's just all the people that spend so much time watching Tesla content and educating themselves and on any content. It doesn't even have to be, this could be NVIDIA, it could be any other company. Now, stocks are just a good way and a good way of educating yourself on that specific company and just understanding its life cycle, understanding everything about it, and just researching all the things, and then you become that expert. So that way when's the time to double down and when's the time to let me save a little bit of money. I'll keep investing, but save a little bit more, save a little bit more. And for example, when Tesla just went down this time at $280 a share, I was buying, basically we cashed out on one of the properties that we were working on. So we took one investment, put it into a property. We actually took stock market money investment, put it into a property. Then we took that property investment, took that money back out of that property, and then put it back into the stock market while still having that property. Just a completely different thing, completely different topic, basically. But we now have that. Now we started buying back in. I think we started our lowest buy-in was at was it 280 or something like that? 290. Was our kind of where we started buying in, and we started buying in as it started going up. And now we're sitting at the share price being at 360, or maybe it's 342 right now, but we're right around that number. And then we were at 420 just a few months ago. So just that upside alone is a significant gain in a short period of time. If we can go back to just where we were at, then we're gonna make a return of at least 33%. On my options, it's gonna be way more than 33% because of the multiple of it. Just where we're currently sitting at today, to where if it goes back to where it was, it'll be a double up on money. So it'll be a 2x return, which is phenomenal in a short period of time. Now, so since it's that phenomenal, I don't care if it takes me 2 years for that 2x to happen. I'm okay with that, because at 2x in 2 years, that's still extremely good investment. So I'm not mad if it doesn't happen in the next 3 months, 6 months, or whatever. And then, but then also my bullish projection is that not only will it 2x over 2 years, it has the potential to like 5x over the next 2 years. So I know it'll hit 2x in 2 years, but it might even hit 5x in 2 years. So overall, both the short-term profile and the long-term profile are amazing. So, but again, this goes back to the educating and the insights, and just spending my time educating myself and not entertaining. So I encourage you to push yourself to educate yourself, to entertain or to not entertain yourself. Make that sacrifice to invest in yourself and just see where it takes you in life, because it'll take you to all new places, and I think it'll be monumental for your life. I got my boys in here; they've been pretty good. There's Malachi, Thomas, Fosta, and there's Frankie. I heard.
No,
it's okay. It's okay. All right, see you guys. Catch you on the next one.
Look at my